Hello, good morning, friends. Friends, today we are going to learn new topic, the physiology of excretion. In this topic, we have to cover what is the excretion, which are the types of excretory products, which are the organs of excretion in vertebrates, and also we have to learn how the urine formation takes place in human being. Friends, we know every living organism needs energy for carrying its vital activities, and this energy gets released after the digested food materials are oxidized, means the metabolic activities occurs, and along with the releasing of this energy by the metabolic activities, certain end products or the byproducts are produced, which further they are not useful to the body, and therefore they should be eliminated from the body because of a prolonged stay in the body of such kind of products. These are harmful to the body. They causes the ill effects. Therefore, they should be eliminated. Anyhow, there are some byproducts. They are used by the body. For example, the water is an byproduct of metabolic activities. This is retained within the body, but under certain conditions, as like the edema, it should be expelled out. The another product, that is the carbon dioxide, it is the end product of the metabolic activities, but this also needed for the acid base balance in the body. Therefore, sometimes it may be retained in the body, but as the concentration of this carbon dioxide exceeds, it is having the ill effects. There should be, when it becomes harmful, it must be eliminated. The another, the nitrogenous waste materials. These are the byproducts of the protein metabolism. This nitrogenous waste materials, these are also, for example, the urea. The urea, uric acid, ammonia, all these are the nitrogenous waste materials, and retention within the body becomes harmful. For example, the amount of urea when exceeds more than 0.05% in the blood, it becomes harmful. Therefore, it should be expelled out. So, due to the metabolic activities, the carbon dioxide or the water or the nitrogenous waste materials or the excess amount of the vitamins, steroids or the hormones, these all are the unwanted substances. They should be eliminated, and the elimination of this nitrogenous waste materials from the body, this one is called as the excretion. Here there are two types of excretory products. One are the non-nitrogenous waste materials, which have no nitrogenous base. These are the carbon dioxide and water. And the nitrogenous waste materials, they are having with the nitrogenous base. The urea, uric acid, ammonia, these all are the major nitrogenous waste materials. But there are other nitrogenous waste materials are also there. There is guanine, there is xanthine, there is creatine, creatinine, hippuric acid, then there are other guanine. All these are the ornithic acid. All they may be produced by the metabolic activities. These are not further used to body, their excess amount. Therefore, they should be eliminated. And this elimination of these nitrogenous waste materials, it is achieved by a system. That system is called as the excretory system. The organs or the system which is related with the elimination of nitrogenous waste materials, this one is called as the excretory system. And here is a sketch of the excretory system of human being. Before going to study the physiology of urine formation, we should know the basic anatomical terminology and basic structures of the excretory system. So, this one is a excretory system of human being. What it consists of? Here is a pair of kidneys. So, in all vertebrate animals, the kidneys are the chief excretory organs which eliminates the nitrogenous waste material. So, here is a pair of kidneys. Here is a pair of the ureters, the urinary bladder and urethra. These are the organs of the excretory system. This kidneys, a pair of kidneys, these are present below to the liver. These are present in the peritoneal cavity or the posterior part of this abdominal cavity. And each kidney, these are present on either side of the lumbar vertebrae. In this region, a pair of kidneys are present. And each kidney, this one is covered by a tough capsule. If we see the structure of kidney, each kidney is bean shaped. It is dark reddish in color. The right kidney, this one is the right side, the right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney. So, in a healthy and adult human being, these kidneys, its length measures near about 10 to 12 centimeter. Its width, this width is 5 to 7 centimeter. And each kidney, it weighs about 120 to 170 gram in weight. So, these are the kidneys which are located in the abdominal cavity, and these are the kidneys are the main organs of the excretion. From this kidney, from each kidney arises a tubular structure, this one. These are called as the ureters. This one is the right ureter, this one is the left by the peristaltic movement. This carries the urine which is formed in the kidney towards the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder, this one is present towards the posterior most side of this abdomen. It stores the urine up to full its, and from this urinary bladder arises a urethra which passes through the penis, and through this urethra the urine is eliminated outside. So these are the structures of the excretory system. These kidneys are supplied by the renal artery and the renal vein. If we see the structure of kidney, each kidney towards the outer side, it is a convex structure, and towards the inner side, here is the concave structure. Through this concave structure, this one is called as or a notch-like structure. This one is called as the hilus. This one is a hilus. And through this hilus, the renal vein, renal artery, and the nerves, they enters into the kidney or they leaves the kidney. So this one is a notch. Internally, if we see the structure of kidney, here is the ileus of kidney. It shows the mainly two parts, the outer portion from this region to this. This one is called as the cortex, and the inner part, this one is called as the medulla. So cortex is a peripheral portion of the kidney, and this medulla is the middle part. In this medulla, there are such type of pyramids are present. Pyramidal structures are present. In the human being, there are 8 to 18 pyramids are present, in which in these two parts, in the medulla and the cortex, the structural and functional unit of urine formation, these are lying. One more, here is a open space which is a funnel shaped, this structure. This one is called as the pelvis. From this ureter, this portion is called as the pelvis, and this pelvis enters into these pyramids. So these are called as the calyx, which are the larger structures. Suppose this one is a major calyx, and this one is the minor calyx. This one is a minor. So the pyramids, internally the pyramids are present. So this one is a basic structure of the kidney. In this kidney, the structural and functional units are present, which are responsible for the formation of urine, and this basic structure are called as the nephron, or there are also called as the uriniferous tubules. In case of human being, each kidney, it contains 1.2 million of these basic structural and functional units, that is the nephrons or the uriniferous tubules. Before studying the ultrafiltration or the formation of urine, we should know the microscopic structure of this nephron. So the nephron, what it contains? This nephron, each nephron, this one is started along with a double layered cup shaped body. That double layered cup shaped body is called as the capsule. This one is called as the Bowman's capsule. So this one is a Bowman's capsule, double layered, this Bowman's capsule. This Bowman's capsule, this one is supplied by the renal arteries. When these renal arteries, they divides and redivides, and they form the smaller capillaries or the arterioles. The blood vessel which enters into this Bowman's capsule, this one is called as the afferent arteriole. This one is a afferent arteriole. This one is renal arteriole or branch of renal artery, and this one is a afferent arteriole. When it enters into the Bowman's capsule, this arteriole, it again divides and redivides into the smaller branches, and it forms a compact mass in this Bowman's capsule. Then it leaves to the Bowman's capsule. Then we call to this one is a efferent arteriole. This one is a efferent arteriole. Look here, along with this mass of this arteriole, this one is called as the glomerulus. This along with this glomerulus, this Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, these together are called as the renal capsule, or this one is called as the Malpighian body. So this portion is of the Malpighian tubule, Malpighian body. This is a Malpighian body having with the Bowman's capsule and the glomerulus. Here, look here, the afferent arteriole which enters into the Bowman's capsule, its size is somewhat larger. The size of afferent arteriole is larger than the efferent arteriole. Therefore, here forms a pressure. Anyhow, we will see in the formation of urine. So, this Bowman's capsule is present in this region, means it is present in the cortex part of the kidney. So, here are too many such type of Bowman's capsules are present, or uriniferous tubules are present, which are present in the cortex region. A tubular structure, it leaves the Bowman's capsule. This one is immediately called as the neck of Bowman's capsule. This portion is a neck of Bowman's capsule. From this neck of Bowman's capsule, here forms a highly convoluted structure in this region. Here, such type of. This one is called as the proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule. This proximal convoluted tubule, it is also present in the cortex. So the Bowman's capsule, Malpighian tubule and this proximal convoluted tubule, these are present in the cortex of the kidney here, as like this. Here. Then they leave the cortex. They runs straight towards the medulla, as like this here, this one. So it descends. Therefore, this one is called as the distal tubule. It descends towards the medulla. It turns, or it takes the U-turn, as like this in the medulla. Again it ascends. This one is called as the ascending tubule. Ascends towards the cortex region. When it reaches into the cortex, again it forms the coiling. It forms the more convolutions. Then this one is called as the DCT. This one is the proximal convoluted tubule. This one is a distal convoluted tubule. Then this distal convoluted tubule, it again leaves the cortex and it joins to a tubule. This one is called as the collecting tubule. So this one is these are the collecting tubules, such type of collecting. All these collecting tubules, they joins to the larger duct, and these ducts, for example, as like this. This duct is called as the duct of Bellini. This one is a duct of Bellini, and this duct of Bellini, it opens into the pelvis. Whatever urine produced by this Bowman's capsule and this proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, these are collected into this collecting tubule and finally into the duct of Bellini. This duct of Bellini, all the ducts of Bellini, these opens here into the pelvis, and through the pelvis the urine formed, this one is carried by this ureters. Anyhow, so this one is a structure of a nephron, microscopic structure of nephron. If we summarized this microscopic structure of nephron, what is here? Here are the glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole, which forms the glomerulus. This structure is called as the Malpighian tubule. Here are the proximal convoluted tubules. This one is a distal tubule which runs towards the medulla. This one is this one is called as the descending limb. This one is the ascending limb. Here is the distal convoluted tubule. So the portion from this region means the Malpighian tubules, PCT, DCT, all of these are present in the cortex, while this portion, the distal descending limb, ascending limb, and this U-shaped structure, loop of Henle or Henle's loop, these are present in the medulla, or the collecting ducts are also present in the medulla. So these are the structures of the nephron. This efferent artery which leads to the Bowman's capsule, it runs as like this here. Again, this one is supplied to this all structures as like this. There is a network of three types of tubules or three types of blood capillaries: renal artery, renal portal artery, and the renal vein. These are as like this. These innervates to the different parts of this uriniferous tubule or the nephrons. So this one is a microscopic structure which is responsible for the urine formation. Now we know the microscopic structure of urine formation is the nephron or the uriniferous tubules. In next video, we will see how the urine formation takes place actually. So today we will stop here. Thank you.